Well, hello everybody. This is Grace on a Journey, and you are listening to Angelic Healing Express. This is a place for mature audiences in all seasons in life to grow spiritually and make new friends. We love, we share, we learn, we laugh, we forgive, we improve, we self-care, we let go and fly above the drama. I am divine. I am intuitive. I am expression. I am love. I am powerful. I am creative. I am safe. Balance is the fruit of the universe. May our minds work together to find mutual understanding. May I see your truth and be seen in kind. May our words reveal more than they obscure. Most of all, may our minds, eyes, and tongues be guided by our hearts and the language far older than words. So, I was guided to title today's episode, "We're Going on a Trip." And a lot of you may be curious of why I decided to go along with this title. It has to do with our channeled song. Today will be a joyful experience because I decided to assist those of you that are hesitating due to lack of understanding. I have been sharing that part of growth is doing your inner child work, amongst many other things. But we have to start from somewhere. And I do know one of the reasons why people stall is because they are not yet comfortable with that approach. I am going to take this episode today and show you how fulfilling doing and taking care of your inner child work is beneficial and connected with today. I want to start by reading a prayer. This episode will also be beneficial to parents because I have a library literally. Because I purchased a lot of books, and a lot of family members have given my son a lot of books very early on. And I'm taking the approach to tend to your inner child at this moment, to nurture your inner child at this moment. So you will recognize how communicating to your inner child is done. The prayer I have to share with you is from a prayer book for children. That is a manner of doing your inner child work. Some people color. Some people play, ride their bikes, go hiking, go swimming. Those of you who have yet to understand the necessity of doing your inner child work, it's because there are certain issues that you have been holding on to since your inner child. You have never healed because no appropriate action was taken in that direction. It may be to ignorance or lack of funds or issues in relation to stigmatism, fear, or neglect. But as we learn better, we should do better, especially as the generations continue. I believe we should all have some appreciation for those who raised us with their understanding. But we've arrived at an age where information is everywhere. We don't even have to buy it. And so we have different approaches of how to use different therapies that will be of assistance and afford us self-healing. I do encourage counseling in my truth. I also have shared my experience that I believe in counseling from organized religion, but in association with holistic counseling. Because both of these approaches have something to offer. And I would always recommend that as you step your toe in, not your foot, you step your toe in just to see how the water is. Move forward as you feel comfortable, as your intuition is moving you. Always hesitate when you feel convicted. It's not for you. It's not that these concepts don't work. But you have to be at a certain point in your life where you are inviting different approaches for exploration. Also, we have to keep in mind there are many people in quote-unquote helping careers that do not have your best interests. They are unethical in practice. They guide people the wrong way. And as you follow them, step by step, you begin recognizing that your life is in the direction of ruin. Consider your source, because how they treat others makes you next in line. And the karma that you receive is due to your association to them. The willingness to enable them by patronizing them. Even though you are aware of their unethical spiritual practices. Energy is contagious. As you know better, let us begin to fly above the drama and do better. We are awakened to a season where it is evident that karma is making its way with those in line to receive it. Detach from all people, places, and things and energies that are not in alignment with your highest good. A lot of you have experienced being under a spell. Whether it is a glamour spell, mind manipulation, Jezebel spirit, sickness and disease, suicide, and you've walked into it because you did not have discernment on the company that you was keeping. These people only worship money. Those who know exactly where I'm going with this. And so you can be used for their expenses in the direction of sacrifice. That could be your life, that could be your health, that could be your family, that could be your job, that could be your connections, that could even be your destiny. Are you even aware of the entire story? Who were your teachers? Do you trust them? Is their life an example to you? Is the information that they're sharing with you, or they have introduced you to, in alignment with what would better the chances of your children having and experiencing a better life than you did? This is not only for adulting, it's also for parenting. Development should always be steady in your life. If you want to experience progress, it begins with one choice and another choice and another choice. Remaining in resentment or jealousy does not afford you any progress. You're just using your energy in a manner that is not constructive and could be detrimental to your well-being. We need to be open to exposing ourselves to different approaches that sound to be true to us, using discernment and following our intuition. But I must guide you in saying, if you are taking approaches to develop yourself in a manner where you can begin a road to ascension, again, you have to detach from people, places, things, and energies that are not in alignment with your highest good. In connection to them, there's an obstacle to your forward movement. What I advise you to do is look around your circles, pay attention to what's happening, take notice of progress, take notice of stagnation, take notice of drama, take notice of confusion, take notice of untreated mental illness, take notice of drug addiction, alcoholism, dysfunction, domestic violence, disruption in income, and inability to budget and live a life that would be pleasing to you, that would provide for your family as you proceed with truth and integrity. Not taking the road of seeking charity or scamming others to afford your provision. There is no sign of progress there. There is no sign of hope there. There's no sign of a legacy that you could be proud of there. And as we witness the events that we are hearing about, that we are uncovering, and people being exposed all over the world, there's something that is being noticed in pattern. The households they come from, how they were raised, the neglection they experienced, the abuse they experienced, the irresponsibility that their parents were in. If you are not doing your job in learning to invite growing, what will occur in your life is the same effect that those that are adult children who are experiencing age regression find themselves in. I once used to use the term no home training. But in meditation today, I realized modeling is home training. And so what we see is what we do. So even though someone is dysfunctional in some respect, what we saw is what we do. So in fact, there was home training, but in what direction? Were your children raised to be authentic in their truth? Were they raised to be con artists, bullies, loose with their bodies, and never considering respect in any magnitude whatsoever? That's food for thought. Because even if you can relate to such experiences, you're having an opportunity to decide to make a choice to do better one day at a time. I'm not going to lie to you and say that this journey is going to be easy or that no damage has already been done, because I am the type of teacher that comes in my truth, affording my transparency and my realistic views. But what are your options really? Is it continue to go down the rabbit hole? Or take the approach of connecting to God, inviting Him into your life, beginning a relationship with your guardian angels and those that support you spiritually, honoring those ancestors that are in alignment with your highest good. What are your options? And I'm hearing, what do you have to lose? Weigh all these choices on your scales. And I'm hearing, make better choices. Because that is how you can invite a better day. Even if your children have witnessed you be in crisis, irresponsible, even if you brought shame to them, there's a lesson that they will capture in how you turned your life around. As you begin to apply self-care into your life, you are teaching your children the skills that they can use to maneuver, survive, and not only to survive, but thrive in life. Show them how it's done. Love on them. Tell them they matter. And begin with yourself. As you heal your inner child, you will develop a more graceful approach in your parenting skills. I'm hearing try it before you deny it. So, the prayer that I'll be sharing with you from a children's book. Keep me safe as I snuggle down sleepily and close my eyes tight. I thank you, Lord, for all your love. Please keep me safe tonight. Now the meditation. Dear God, a friend is always there to take your call. God does not use voicemail. God does not have call waiting. God never puts you on hold. God answers me whenever I call to Him. If I want to talk with God, I must listen for His voice. I can ask Him about anything. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is wait. God does not always give me what I ask for, but He always gives me what I need. And the verse in correlation with this prayer is, if He call me, that's interesting because it says if He call thee. But I said if He call me. I know God continues to call me. If He call thee, thou shalt say, speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. Again, as you make purchases for your children, maybe you want to consider to bring balance into your lives. As you buy the sneakers, as you buy the phones, as you give the allowance, Begin to build their library. Take time to schedule them in your schedules. Read with them and discuss what is read. And I want to tell you right now, I am not just speaking of younger children. I think it's very critical that you have open dialogue with young adults as well, and all the in between. Every stage of life needs guidance. My parents did the best they can, the best they could. But due to the approach of tradition and wanting to shelter me from a lot of things, I still learned them, but I learned them later on in life. Do I hold them accountable for experiencing these ups and downs? No. They did the best they can, the best they could. And I feel that I am saying can, and then I'm saying could, because one of my parents are still alive, and she does the best she can. So we need to give credit where credit is due. Now, choose yourself today. And learn how you can reparent yourself. Today, I will give you opportunities to explore your inner child. Some of you will connect with these methods. Some of you will appreciate it. Some of you will question it. Either way, you will all develop an opinion about it. And that's a beginning. Now, for the next meditation. So this meditation / exercise is called Willing to Change. So we have decided we are willing to change. And we will use any and all methods that work for us. That makes me smile because I was just speaking about willing to be open-minded and making choices, one choice at a time. And that is what leads us to change. Let me describe one of the methods I use with myself and with others. First, go look in a mirror and say to yourself, I am willing to change. Notice how you feel. If you are hesitant or resistant, or just don't want to change, ask yourself why. What old belief are you holding on to? Please don't scold yourself and just notice what is. I'll bet that belief has been causing you a lot of trouble. I wonder where it came from. Do you know? Whether we know where it came from or not, let's do something to dissolve it. Now, again, Go to the mirror and look deep into your own eyes. Touch your throat and say out loud 10 times, I am willing to release all resistance. 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 And you continue 5 more times. Mirror work is very powerful. As children, we received most of our negative messages from others looking us straight in the eye and perhaps shaking a finger at us. Whenever we look into the mirror today, most of us will say something negative to ourselves. We either criticize our looks or berate ourselves for something. To look yourself straight in the eye and make a positive declaration about ourselves, in my opinion, the quickest way to get results with affirmations. And these are just some of the affirmations that may be helpful to begin your journey. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I now choose calmly and objectively to see my old patterns, and I am willing to make changes. I am teachable. I can learn. I am willing to change. I choose to have fun doing this. I choose to react as though I have found a treasure. When I discover something else to release, I see and feel myself changing moment by moment. Thoughts no longer have any power over me. I am the power in the world. I choose to be free. All is well in my world. Ashe. Now, one of the ways that you can connect to your inner child is by listening to music that you listened to as a child, or watching programs that you watched as a child, or eating foods that you ate as a child. And the reason why we take those approaches therapeutically is because it gives us an opportunity to experience and connect with memories from that time that still need to be addressed. So another approach someone would take when they are doing inner child work with you, whatever professional that you align to, is they would introduce you to a song. What was your favorite song as a child? And it's funny because as I was preparing today's episode, There's a song that my son used to love to listen to as a child, and he watched the show every day. And it makes me laugh because I never thought that I would be on a podcast sharing a children's song. But I surrender to God's will for my life, and I enjoy living and experience life, not allowing life to drain me, but taking it easy one day at a time. And so this is why I am free to enjoy the present. Have nothing to prove to anybody as long as I am in alignment with my highest good. This song that I will be sharing with you is approved by my angelic family. And those of you that know how to read symbolism, even as it is a children's song, if you pay attention, there's a message behind it. Those with ears will hear. I'm trying not to laugh. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the skies, little Einsteins. Climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find, little Einstein. We're going on a mission. Start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Now, I made a mistake somewhere there. But this was an opportunity to save me from having to continue to sing the whole song. But we get the gist of it, where pay attention to the lyrics, where it says we're going on our mission. Start the countdown. This is the frontier. I am a pioneer, right? And it says, wrap it up now, because the rocket is about to take flight. And it says, climb aboard, get ready to explore. And why this is amusing to me, I mentioned explore a couple times the last episode, sharing that is what allows you to have a better sense of navigation on how to move forward in your life. If you don't explore, it is difficult for you to make your own decisions and have your own opinions and have confidence in your intuition. Now, what's coming to me now, as we were just sharing a children's song, is a quote. The past comes back for a short time to heal the present. The past comes back for a short time to heal the present. One more time. The past comes back for a short time to heal the present. Now, I'm going to present you with a children's story as we are doing inner child work today. It's titled Listening. Once, there were two sisters. One was named Mary. One was named Martha. Jesus was their good friend. He came to see them whenever he was in town. One time, while Jesus was at their house, he had a long talk with Mary. Mary sat by Jesus. She listened and listened. Jesus had so many wonderful things to say. Martha was thinking about other things. She knew there was a lot of work to do. She wanted to get their dinner ready. She wanted to clean the house. She wanted to make a nice bed for Jesus. And while Martha worked, Mary sat and listened. Finally, Martha got upset. Jesus, she said, Mary's not helping. I am doing all this work by myself. Notice I said, I am not. Then I said, I am doing all of this work. This is confirmation that I am supported by my angelic family. I am not alone. And this is why when I share the intro and I say, we are happy to have you, it is because I am in good company. I just wanted to clarify that. I am doing all this work by myself. Tell her to come and help me. Martha, Martha. Jesus said, you are upset about so many things. Mary is doing something very important. She is listening to me. She chose to do the best thing. The end. When I read this story, what came to mind, because I read various texts, because as I shared before, I am in the mindset that all people have something to offer. So whether I subscribe to it or not, I am willing to hear their points of view. And so, as I was exploring, quote unquote, I came across a story in a sacred book utilized in Hinduism. And what I notice is that story is parallel to that story that we just read. I mean, parallel. Just the characters are different. And this is one of the reasons why I always remind you to take what you want and leave the rest. You see, ignorance doesn't mean anything besides lack of knowledge. And so, due to lack of knowledge, we are ready to jump up and discriminate and condemn and reject, right? You're a demon, you're demonic, you're this, you're that, right? I've experienced it myself due to the fact that my goal is healing. And so I offer approaches that are helpful to healing. But due to being a pioneer on the frontier, there are many that disregard my efforts, disregard the benefits, disregard the hope that it offers, and just say, you're not like me. You don't want to conform to what I'm conforming to. You don't want to believe what I'm believing. You don't want to pretend. You don't want to just participate in organized religion on a day of the weekend and then practice cultish affairs for 5 or 6 days until we dress up fancy and wear our big hats for religious fellowship next week. Again, I'm called to be authentic. So taking this approach requires me to be transparent. And no, I do not subscribe to anything that is not in alignment with my highest good. I do not subscribe to anything that I feel convicted about. With use of my intellect, I am able to read, decipher, take what I want, leave the rest, and attract development. This is just a gentle recommendation for those of you that don't think for yourselves, that are led by fake people who claim to be holier than thou until they're exposed. It's all over the news. It's all over the world. Are you asleep to it? Are you just awake when it is time to get your bag of rocks to condemn somebody that doesn't look like you, or doesn't sound like you, or is darker than you, or is not following the trends like you, is not drinking like you, is not, taking drugs like you, is not clubbing like you? Part of adulting is having priorities. You see, this is why those with age regression are recognized by the informed population. You don't have to tell me you were traumatized as a child. Your story speaks for itself. Your behavior speaks for itself. Your interaction with others speaks for itself. Your lack of morality speaks for itself. Your no sense of value speaks for itself. I'm hearing mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? There's a message there. Now, I would like to continue with a couple of words I have to share. Due to what we've been exposed to, some of us early in life, some of us have conformed to the society's point of view and have aligned in thought to certain stigmas. The distraction that is directed and disruptive in your life is designed to keep you as an underachiever, and in the energy of stagnation. With efforts to dumb you down. But in life we have opportunities to make choices. Someone that used to mentor me years ago always used to say, we always have a choice. And I understand that clearly today. Your circumstances today started with choices that you've made. And continued choices that aligned to your choice in regards to your journey. Do I want to align with God's will? Do I want to live life according to my highest good? Or do I want to be part of the crew? Do I want to be cool? Do I want to drive nice cars? And have various women that I can manipulate and groom them into what I want to groom them as? Do I prefer responsible women, or do I prefer sugar babies. If you haven't learned the lesson in your youth regarding every action has a reaction, and that reaction leads to a consequence, it doesn't have to be regarded as positive or negative. It just is where you stand in your level of progress. It just is, do you need to review the material so you can pass the test next time? It just is that you are learning at your own pace. And I've heard several times before, it's okay. You are right where you're supposed to be. Don't allow competition to be a distraction. Don't allow ignorance to be your distraction. Don't allow resentment to be your distraction. Don't allow low self-esteem to be a distraction. Don't allow self-hatred to be a distraction. As we learn, we grow, and we do better. So the experiences we've had in relation to the groups that we've connected to, whether in an earlier stage in life or as we selected for ourselves as young adults or mature adults, our peers, those that we connect with, like-minded family, in such settings, do we feel free? Do we feel comfortable for having our own points of view? Is it a controlled environment? Am I ridiculed for thinking for myself? Am I bullied? Am I teased? In adult connections, when does it stop? When do you say it's enough? I will not allow others to bully me. I will not allow others to clown me. I will not allow others to manipulate me, to categorize me as a gullible target. That can be guided in any direction. And taking the approach of becoming your handler. What connection are you in? that has imprisoned you, that has enslaved you, that is blackmailing you. Do you have the freedom to choose? Or does ridicule follow? Are you developmentally on target? Are you categorized as emotionally intelligent? If you haven't fulfilled that test in life, has your children been introduced to it? Are you leaving a legacy that will empower your future generations? There's a proverb from the country I descended from that translates to what you see is what you do. So I would like us to take the opportunity to invite the energy of open-mindedness in our worlds. Begin to see the entire picture. Disregarding the associations that highlights stigmas in order to gain the privilege of manipulation. I will say time and time again that I appreciate all of the high vibrational approaches of organized religion. But I think for myself, I decide for myself, and I choose for myself. If my spirit guides me in the direction that is not beneficial for my highest good, I put it down. And I keep moving. If my spirit is guiding me to be open to studying, to gain understanding, to trust, to believe God, to just follow where He leads. Opening my hands to receive the knowledge that He wants to provide to me, I say yes. And in that stance, I want to define 2 words that have stigmas attached to them, especially from organized religion. And that is in relation to the lack of knowledge. The first word is declaration. There are many words that we hear, that others use, that are familiar to us, that we have no idea what they really mean. And so that is the challenge of hesitation. We hesitate because we don't really know. And so we remain stuck. Most of you have some understanding of what you define declaration to be. But I will summarize what it is in clarity. Declaration is intention, belief, or information presented in a powerful way. Now, the stigmas that are associated with it is that there's some that associate it with empowerment. And many of us are exposed to societies that don't believe in empowerment because they believe in government. And although balance is the fruit of the universe, there's a place for government, but there's also a place for the people. There's also a place for freedom of choice. There's also a place for free will. Some of us are here to free the people. Because as we free the people, we guide them into the arms of abundance. The first step is free your mind. Now, in reality, disregarding the stigmas that are connected with the term declaration, a declaration, an example, would be no weapons formed against me shall prosper. Another, I am safe and secure with the company of God. Following that, my God will protect me from known and unknown evil ones. I highly recommend that you make declarations as a part of your daily regimens in association to self-care. I highly recommend this approach because it is powerful, and we are being guided to stand in our power. I'm smiling because I'm hearing my power. There's a song out there called My Power. And indeed, it is a powerful song. The next word that I would like us to recap and reconsider is the word incantation. In definition, it means constructive language. There is a special power. There is special powers in words. That's why we spell words. There is a special power in words. That's why we spell words. One more time for those in the back. There's a power in words. That's why we spell words. Words that God have spoken should be revered as assurance. So, if you received a revelation from God, it's a good deal. I always say, I receive it. Language itself is supernatural. Now, when it comes to incantations, I want to briefly share what that is regarded as. One of my favorite is anyone that attempts to energy harvest anyone that takes part in energy harvesting me shall be condemned automatically. One of the reasons why I'm very comfortable with the approach of incantations, I do not feel the necessity of opening a world in a book of spells. I am connected enough to God and connected enough to my angelic families and all those that support me spiritually that I just speak the word, or I just make thought of it and it manifests. As I said, if you are having a difficult time to manifest, you need to review the formula that I've afforded you several times before regarding your intentions. Is your will in alignment with the good for us all, with God and universal law as its foundation? You see, that would be a yes. Because anyone that would energy harvest off of me is in the energy of theft, which is not in alignment with my highest good. Therefore, it's automatic condemnation, especially if you have arrived at a certain plateau in the field of spirituality. You have a calling on your life. You live not only for yourself, not only for your family, but for the people. You embrace humanity and you assist them to rise up. You are covered. When you are awake to your power and your alliances. And this is why some of you that are having a harder time to find your way on this journey should consider connecting with one that's been there, done that, and in the energy of integrity, truth, wisdom, and love. Lack of integrity is a no. Lack of truth is a no. Lack of integrity, I've mentioned that, so that's very important. Lack of wisdom is a no. Lack of love is a no. And I'm hearing lack of transformation. Lack of transformation. Lack of transformation is a no. Have I seen you do it? So I'm just supposed to take your word for it? How versed are you in what you are guiding me into? Do you know all the questions, all the ins and outs, all the opportunities of conflict, failure, loss, many of us like to judge a book by its cover. I'm being led to read something that I planned on reading later to you, but I'm being asked to read it now. I feel the presence of God. I'm receiving a multitude of downloads, and I'm grateful. I am a soul. I am not this face, these features. I am not made up of matter. This body is not me, but my instrument. I am a spiritual being. I have the form of light. This form thinks, feels, and decides. I concentrate on this one thought. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am a happy being. I feel good. I experience deep, powerful peace. I am in total peace. And so it is. I thank God for my abilities to be flexible when I'm guided in a direction. I know it's for my highest good. And what I just read assisted me in recentering myself. It's interesting. I just received an angel message, and it says, show up for yourself and you show up for the world. Indeed. Because my vibration is exactly where it needs to be. And due to the fact that energy is contagious, your vibration is rising higher. And I'm on my job. Now this is some guidance in releasing to this. Wow! I was just about to share with you this next angel message, and I said, this is some guidance. And I said, in release. That is not the wording I would have chose. I would have said, this is some guidance that I am being asked to release to you or relate to you. But I said, this is some guidance in release. You know what that's telling me? Some of us, all of us, have something to release. Could it be the hurt that your inner child experienced that has made its way to your present, that is still inviting self-sabotage? That's definitely food for thought. Now, I want to move into the next activity I have set up for this episode. And it's titled Becoming Your Own Counselor. Childhood can be extremely lonely, especially if parents and caregivers do not understand children or are unable to listen. As we were growing up, there were so many feelings, so many experiences we just could not talk about. But the inner child can talk about them now. And we can be there to listen. In the next series of exercises, you will travel back in time. Hence the title, We're Going on a Trip. We're going to travel back in time and be there with the child you once were. A counselor to your inner child of the past. And that is referring to reparenting. As I've mentioned before, there is no use to blame others about your childhood when you could blame yourself about not reparenting yourself. What efforts are you making to heal yourself? Because now you could stand up for your wellness. It is your job to take care of your wellness. It's a part of adulting. You can now offer yourself the comfort and love you were once denied in childhood. Counseling your child of the past. Materials that you may want to work with. Crayons, pastels, felt pens, and paper. With the dominant hand, and that would be the left hand for those of you that are not right-handed. With the non-dominant hand, draw a time in your childhood when you felt hurt, sad, or abandoned, and had no one there to comfort you. Now with your dominant hand, which is your right hand for right-handed people, explain that you are here now and want to let the child feel its feelings and share them safely with you. Ask the inner child to write down with the non-dominant hand, and that would be your left hand for the right-handed people. What happened and how it felt. Ask your inner child if there is anything it wants in order to feel better. Ask it to draw you a picture of itself feeling safe, comforted, and loved. Then ask your inner child to write with the non-dominant hand, that would be the left hand for right-handed people, anything else it wants to tell you. You see, as it communicates with you, then you know what issues you have, and you know what direction you need to take to attract healing into your life. Do you need to go to a counselor? Do you need to participate in certain therapies? Can you consider a holistic approach? A spiritual teacher, a spiritual coach? What are your options? What resources are the universe making available to you right now? From time to time, repeat this exercise. Concentrate on a different childhood experience each time. That is suggesting that as you do and engage in such exercises, you rewrite your story. And you claim healing. And all is well with your soul. If you are unsure of which experience to use as your focus, try working with feelings that are coming up in your life at this time. Do you feel frightened? Do you feel sad? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel exhausted? Are you grieving? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel hurt emotionally and physically? Do you feel lost? Do you feel abandoned? Do you feel confused? Do you feel sick? Are you angry? Do you identify with a victim of abuse? Are you shy? For instance, in a current situation, if a current situation, but I said in a current situation. So some of you are currently experiencing triggers. But I said triggers. And I am being intuitively led to believe that due to your inner work, some of you that have taken the approach of healing your inner child, you are currently in alignment with the treasure of healing. But it says, if a current situation triggers feelings of abandonment, due to this exercise, wow, do this exercise, but I said do to this exercise. So that is telling me that this exercise itself can trigger you. Those of you that have underlying issues that you want to deny and that you don't want to address, and that remain subconsciously and continue to move you in a direction of self-sabotage. Meditate on that. If a current situation triggers feelings of abandonment, do this exercise. Go back in time to an early experience of abandonment. Picture it on paper, and with your non-dominant hand, which is your left hand for right-handed people, do a written dialogue as previously described. Explore your feelings. Now, I have several examples of adults that practice inner work, inner child work, and the reason why you are being asked to use your non-dominant hand it has to do with how the brain works. The dominant hand would lead you to be in an energy that is programmed, so to speak. A programmed energy. You were taught to write with your dominant hand. Now, your non-dominant hand, which is the left hand for the right-handed people, it's free. It hasn't been programmed in any way. And so you can freely release your thoughts, your emotion, your feelings. You are more connected to your inner child by way of your left hand rather than your right hand. those who are right-handed. All right? That is the backstory of that approach. Now, I'm willing to share just one of the examples of how experiences in childhood can remain with you into adulthood. This is an adult that drew the picture and explained the experience as a child. And I'm about to share that with you. This is what happened to me in kindergarten. Mrs. Carpel was my teacher. I was really little and skinny and afraid. My socks used to fall down. I paused because when you use your non-dominant hand to write, you write as a child. So as an adult, I have to make more effort to understand your handwriting because you write as a child. That's why you connect more to your inner child with your non-dominant hand. You are so stupid and clumsy. You are a retarded girl. Now, this is what a teacher said to a student. And it registered to that student's subconscious. I'm hearing this is why we have to be vigilant in our connections to teachers, even in our adult years. Some of them direct you into cultish activity that can scar you as well. And because that is a repeated pattern, that is a cycle that you are still stuck in until you make the decision, detach from people, places, things, and energies that are not in alignment with my highest good. Think and act accordingly. So this scarred that individual as a child. Due to that, she experienced life as feeling less than, because that was an authority figure, someone that supposedly had her best interests, a teacher. But because she abused her with her language, this inner child is still in the mindset of feeling, I'm not smart. Which keeps her in the energy of low self-esteem. And so, this is why we have to be selective when choosing our words as we connect to children. Not only our children, we need to respect children. The disrespect, the immaturity, the ignorance I see in some adult populations reveal that their children are in that same energy, that their generational curses continue. And this is why they remain in one place. Lack of progress. The only connection to progress is stealing from another who puts effort and does the work. Due to putting effort and doing the work, a level of confidence is granted to you. This is why you walk with your head held up high, because you are in integrity. You are in your truth. You stand up for yourself. You say no to oppression. You choose for yourself. You decide for yourself. You agree to disagree. Are you free? Those who are free fly above the dramas. And you see them elevate and reach further stages in their life. Grace follows. Understood? So we are done with that activity. What I want to do next is dive into the spread and share as much as I can. The first card is a jealous person, unreliable, bringer of negative news, unfaithful, and that is a masculine energy. Following that is disruption of status quo, lack of progress. Then child, right? Disruption of status quo, lack of progress. Then child. What are these cards saying to you? Following that, gambler. That is revealing that an adult, quote-unquote, man took the approach of impregnating another to make another female energy jealous. That was a gamble. Did it work? Following that, trusting heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. I can definitely relate to that energy. And some of you can as well. Following that, trust. A masculine in a Taurus energy is in pursuit of trust, wanting to be trusted. The challenge is the previous card. Jealous person, unreliable, bringer of negative news, unfaithful, lack of progress, disruption of status quo. Now, there is someone in a phase of transformation that has arrived at Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. That's positive. Next card is a ceremony of honor, gratitude, acceptance of your entire story, your truth. And shining in the process. Devoted spirits with specific intentions support you. Saints, ascended masters, elevated souls, and that individual that continues to rise honors all her ancestors in alignment with her highest good. And as she continues to show respect, they remember her and they continue to give respect. In many ways. Some of you have already awakened to these ways. Following cards. A strong woman that can enrich your spiritual life, honest and frank. Power, strength, protection, adaptability, survival, creator, and I laugh when it says destruction, because this is a balanced woman in her feminine energy and her masculine energy. She brings destruction to those that get in the way of her birthright. Only if people would obey to stay in their lanes. Let's grow. I said let's grow, but I'm hearing let's go. I got a clue. Next card is cloud. Some people are in the energy of feeling as if they have lack of clarity. They can't see straight. And part of the reason they can't is due to spell work that they've conducted. And the return to senders have hit hard. And there is something else that has been revealed to me in regards to the back to senders. I'll just say this. The offenders need to prepare themselves. I'll just say that. Okay? One of the reasons is because besides all the warnings that were given, spell work is still being done. And let's just say the spiritual world is saying, let's go. Read between the lines. The next card is the victor. Trust. Trust of her angelic teams, her angelic families. Journeys. Progress. Movement. Freedom. Exciting times. Higher heart activation. Divine love. Your heart is healed. Highlighted. Next card is protection. And it says historical connections and purpose. Someone was called to be a generational curse breaker. Her ancestors applaud her, support her, protect her, and defend her. And she is in the energy of manifestation. Because she does no harm. She respectfully engages in higher vibrational activity. Although balance is the fruit of the universe, yes, there's a time to love, hug, encourage, embrace, and there's a time to go to war. That's how it works. And those of you that are generational curse breakers, among many other accomplishments, have the freedom of releasing trials and tribulations that do not belong to you. They will be taken care of by the right energies. freedom will follow. Get a clue. Next card is hold your ground. Honesty and integrity. Responsibility. Divine alignment. Crossroads. The audience is witnessing the crossroads that they are on. Those of them that congregated with unethical teachers that were not anointed, that were copies of the original blueprint. There are some that are among you that are in the energy of being an original blueprint. And this is why you will not die. You know how to survive. You know how to thrive. You know how to keep your head up even if they lie. Next card is light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Challenges, competition, but you are protected and you continue to persevere. And still I rise. Still I rise. Freedom from time constraints. Letting go of urgency. The energy of winter. Movement is frozen for some individuals that have attracted stagnation in their lives due to their efforts to freeze other people's progress and intervene with their peace, their serenity, infinity. Next card is delusion. Now, some people are regarding a feminine energy and the energy of lucky, but they don't understand that she worked hard for everything that she has. She got an education. She has work experience. And she's willing to share her life experience. She stands in her truth, offers authenticity, believes in transparency, and remains in connection with her higher power, which she calls God, that infuses her with creativity. There are still those in the energy of stealing, more than one. The numbers are decreasing due to spiritual warfare. Their angels are doing their part and regulating who, what, where that needs to be regulated. Open your mouth. Say those declarations. Say those incantations. I am protected. I am free. Those are the declarations. Anyone who continues to speak ill of me unjustly will receive that energy. That's an incantation right there. That's not a book. That's intellect. You know why? Because I think for myself. I don't conform to the rest. I believe it and I achieve it. Because the guidance I receive is the best. There is a society that continues to amplify their efforts due to their desire for theft. In my truth, I say, I laugh at you. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in. I laugh at you because you're drowning and you're still going and you're still drowning and you're still going and you're still drowning. That shows intelligence in your world. Anywho, the next card is clarity. They wish to have access to the wisdom of those that are called in positions that are in alignment with the will of God, that are to be respected and others that interfere are expected to be condemned. I just felt the sensation that is confirming. I won't tell you to stop. That season is over. I'm going to let the blind lead the blind. I'm only here for those that are open, willing, and trying. All others, do free will. Run with wolves. See, there are some of you that were thrown to the wolves. In my case, I was targeted and confronted with organized crime. You know about them RICO charges? Yeah, that part. When more than one people connect to eliminate someone that is in their own lane, minding their own business, in no connection to you, experiencing defamation of character, being lied on, stolen identity. The list is A to Z. There must be penalty. Would you agree? And that's the T. So, when you were sent to run with the wolves, they did not know you were already trained to lead the wolves. You see, one of the reasons why people make mistakes is because in judgment, I'm hearing poor judgment, and not allowing a soul its birthright of respect. They lose insight because they see what's outside, but they don't see what's inside. Those that are in tune with our truth say, I see you. And you reply, I see you. Soul to soul. But those that are low vibrational and have not achieved a minute of progress in spirituality are asleep, pretending to be awake. Giving illusions. And causing your lives to break apart. Wake up. Wake up to your connections. Wake up to their achievements. Wake up to the scandals. Wake up to the ignorance. Wake up to the acceptance that there are those in your circles that have untreated mental illness. Wake up to the addictions. Wake up to the age regressions. Wake up to the promiscuity. Wake up to the lies that they tell on you and me. Wake up. I like how the next card says conscious steps, considered action, looking forward. With every step, think first. And continue to look forward. Looking backward will freeze you to the past. This is why they want to reconnect, because their type of misery likes company. And that is wisdom from the divine feminine energy. Joker. Okay. Venus, the energy of love. So the Joker is in falsehood, energy of love. Rather, energy of inheritance, or energy of I'm stuck, or energy of I made a mistake, or energy of I got caught, or energy of karma. There is some drama in the area of pregnancy. And a lot of us are experiencing tests of all sorts. Call to action. Take charge. Lead by example. Walk your talk. Is everybody walking their talk? Is everyone in alignment with their truth? Are the holier than thou crew making fun of you and you, playing you for fools? And you continue to enable and act like you don't see it too? It makes you look smart. Isn't that the truth? Think about it. Next card is Angel of Prophecy. Warning after warning after warning. Now comes morning. MOURNING. Those in the energy of attacking unjustly. angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe. Potent connection. Progress, success. Joy, blessings, intuition. Boundaries. Yes. No other way but establishing your boundaries and enforcing them as well. Remorse or regret. Following cheetah. It made me laugh because I know that is in relation to running away. However, it says cheetah, like cheater. You ran away to cheat. Next card is scissors. Sometimes you give the scissors, and that's why you cut off. The sign. Devotion. Perseverance. Fairness. Release. And now, those in opposition, some in that position is experiencing guilt. Angel of reflection. Yes, proceed, be seen, push through. Cleansing. Guardian angel, spirit family, personal guides on deck. Your opposition are in their shadow, utilizing scrying mirrors and other tools in the dark. Now for our last pile. Wealth, success, family, and those in the energy of love. Ancestors. People are talking about people. Agitation that people are talking. Because the truth is being seen. It's time. The shift has aligned with the truth. Victory, breakthroughs, new ideas, mental clarity, success. Wow, we were just speaking about truth. The next card is Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. I'm here 100% pure love. Sacred temple. Your house is your temple. And when it is not in the light of sacredness, then goes your eligibility. Next card is Wisdom, Inspiration, Akashic Records. Following that is the Truth, Fulfillment. Listen, I had a great time with you guys, and I want to share that my content is posted on several platforms already, but I am requesting and offering an invitation to all open-minded spiritual beings to follow me on YouTube. Those of you that have been following me a while are aware that I am being and was being shadow banned due to the falsehood and the fake teachers that pretend. I need us to stand up. I need these messages to reach the right people that are open to healing. And so I encourage you to follow me and share about Angelic Healing Express to those in need. If you know someone is not in need because they're not open-minded, conserve your energy. I can be located at GraceOnAJourney, W, Angelic Healing Express. GraceOnAJourney, W, Angelic Healing Express on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on other platforms as well, I encourage you. I appreciate you. And I'm sending love to you. For those of you that have service inquiries, ways I could be of assistance, I can be located at graceonajourney@gmail.com. That is graceonajourney@gmail.com. And for donations in appreciation for my efforts, $MsGraceOnAJourney. $MsGraceOnAJourney. I hope this connection offers transformation, success, and progress on your journey. May grace and healing follow you. live by grace.